to Education, Leadership, and Beyond, Surviving and Thriving. My name is Andrew Murata, host of the show, and good morning. Happy Saturday. Happy August to you. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Proud member of the Education Podcast Network, Voice Ed Radio Canada, wherever you are taking in your podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Leave us a comment, leave us a question, and certainly a positive review. If you're on iTunes, appreciate you. Careful driving while you're driving that car. But I know so many of our friends and leaders listen on iTunes, so thanks for tuning in. It's a Saturday morning. My guy today, Nick Holtvluwer. Nick, I'm working on the pronunciation. Super flexible. It's 7 o'clock Mountain Time near Denver, Colorado. And Nick's the man. He changed his schedule for us. You are going to meet Nick Holtvluwer here in a moment. Our guest today, he is a principal. He's a dad. He is a husband. And I'm really intrigued. Stand-up comedy, right? Humor in leadership is so great. But he's doing some stand-up comedy. So we're going to talk to Nick in a moment. My friends from IXL are sponsoring the show. I appreciate that. Let's hear a word from IXL and how it could help you in your school.
I'd like to thank IXL for sponsoring today's podcast. Over 1 million teachers use IXL in their classroom every day. IXL is the most widely used online learning and teaching platform K through 12. It empowers schools with complete curriculum, thousands of instructional resources, robust reporting, assessment data, and more. It saves teachers a lot of valuable time with ready-made plans aligned to the standards and the textbooks. Built-in engagement tools like custom competitions make learning fun for students. And IXL's diagnostic is research proven to be a strong predictor of performance on standardized assessments. And the best part, everything I just mentioned is all integrated into one platform so you can simplify your EdTech tools. Visit IXL.com to lead your students towards data-driven excellence today. The link is in the show notes. And again, appreciate IXL sponsoring today's podcast.
All right. Thank you, IXL. Good morning, everyone. It is August. Many of you have started school. Some are starting this week. Pennsylvania, my kids are going on Monday. New York, we're after Labor Day here in the Northeast. Many of us after Labor Day. And the opening concept is back to school. How are you making and starting those action plans? I do have a little commercial here. This Thursday, 7:30 Eastern Time, a free seminar, a leadership seminar, making and starting your action plans for a great school year. Join me. The link you have to sign up via Google Form. It's out there on my social medias, and I'll get it in the show notes here to join. But this Thursday, 7:30 is that seminar. So I hope you'll join us, making and starting your action plans for a great school year. And just 3 quick things about starting your school year. Number 1, from the 7 habits, right? The 7 habits of highly effective people is begin with the end in mind. What is that ceremony going to look like for you? Nick, I forgot what you call it, clap along, clap ceremony where the 6th graders are moving through the school. That graduation ceremony, that teacher retirement party. What do those end of the year events look like? When you're done with your staff and you want to say, hey, staff, we did a great job with. Begin with the end in mind and make the important thing so you have that great end of the year speech, so you have those great things. Number 2, people over programs. People over programs. You got amazing people in your school district, but you got all these programs, you got all this school stuff you got to do. People over programs. Don't forget to dive into your people, to support your people. The programs will get going. People first. And number 3, Nick does this in his school. Make sure you find the joy. You're going to have a bunch of ceremonies. You're going to have a bunch of events during the year. Are you showing up with a scowl on your face, or is there a smile? Are you enjoying the journey? Do you have some humor? Nick's going to talk about that today in the work you're doing. Make sure we are finding the joy in the work we're doing. It's school. It's supposed to be fun. And we got to remember that. It's not a circus, but it's got to be fun. So remember those 3 things. Begin with the end in mind, people over programs, and find the joy in the events, friends. All right, let's bring in Nick from Colorado. It is super early there, mountain time. Nick, welcome to Education Leadership Beyond.
Hey, Andrew, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure and an honor. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Nick, I missed the appointment. We changed the schedule, and here you are bright and early on a Saturday morning. I appreciate you, my friend.
Works out great.
Yeah. Nick, am I saying it right? Holtvluwer.
You got it. Holtvluwer, like the fabric, put a Holt in front of velour, and there you go.
There we are, the principal, Mammoth Heights Elementary, Parker, Colorado. So I heard you mention Denver in one of your many videos out there. Where are you in proximity to Denver?
So Parker is probably 20 minutes south of Denver. Just outside one of our main highway corridors on the south side of Denver.
And you're in Castle Rock there, beautiful Colorado, tremendous. Are you a skier, Nick?
No, I am not a skier. I should be. And I got kids that want to do it. And we do a lot of camping and a lot of hiking. And one of our goals is, though, to get out there and ski. That's for sure.
You're in the right spot for sure.
That's right.
Yeah. Nick, you're a principal. You're going in your 10th year at Mammoth Heights. What are some things that you do to kick off your school year behind the curtain as well as in front of the curtain?
Well, as I'm sure you know, Andrew, like we start the planning process for the next school year. We're starting that almost in February. And I think one of my favorite quotes, I think it's Todd Whitaker, who said, the beginning of your school year as a principal, that's your Super Bowl. So I'm gearing up. My Super Bowl is the beginning of the year, when in the NFL, it's the last part of the year, right? So I got to get this right. I got to make sure I got everything in the order. I got the right teachers in the right spots. And we bring the energy on that very first day of school before the kids get there. Yeah. Teachers are showing up after a great, well-deserved summer break. And so we got to get them a little more into the mindset of school, but also have a lot of fun, get them energized, and get them ready for the kids. So we start that planning process very early. And one of the things I do, Andrew, is I like to have fun. And I know you've probably seen all the videos of teachers with they don't want to do any more icebreakers, right? You've seen those videos. They're sick of the icebreakers. I'm not against icebreakers, but I think what I do is try to implement an opportunity at the beginning of every school year when I'm having my teachers all to ourselves, is to have some team building activities. So in years past, I take them to Top Golf and we have a lot of fun. We go to Top Golf. We go bowling. We did putt-putt. I even went, we kind of rented out a whole studio, painting studio, and we painted. So I try to get my teachers opportunities to transition from those summer months and get back to the team. And before we get into the nitty-gritty, we have a lot of fun with some team building activities. This year, we did an amazing race.
Oh, wow.
And my assistant principal helped organize it, that's for sure. But our theme for this school year is just being grateful and thankful for our community, thankful for our teachers. I want to thank our teachers more than just Teacher Appreciation Week. I want to go above and beyond those 1 week areas of thanks for certain elements within our school, whether that be bus drivers or teachers. So we set out an amazing race, and our teachers teamed up, and they had to go throughout our community and show thanks. So one of their things was to donate food to the local food bank. That was a stop. They had to deliver cookies to the firehouse. That was a stop. And we also connected it to our high school and middle school. And by the end, we met at a restaurant and had happy hour.
Wow.
That takes planning. That starts in April even in March, April, May. And then day one's our Super Bowl. If we don't get day one right, then we may not have a good year. We got to get the day one perfect.
Wow.
That was a lot. That was a lot, Andrew.
Well, you're a lot because you are great and doing great things. I wore this shirt for you, Nick. I see the stuff you're doing. I know you use social media there. Again, it is a great way to help your district shine.
Yeah.
But that's a great accomplishment, man.
Thank you. But yeah, just setting the fun tone. That's how we get things going. I view it as our Super Bowl. It's our championship game. And unfortunately for us as educators, it's the first day. NFL players get the whole year to prepare for the Super Bowl. We got to do it day one.
Nick, what you're saying reminds me of my buddy is a captain for an airline. And he says that first flight is the star flight. Start the airline right. That first flight, start the airline right. If that first flight takes off on time, it's going to trickle for the rest of the day, right?
Yeah.
So your mindset is spot on.
Right.
But you just ended your summer, Nick. You got 3 young children, your wife, Jen, 25 years.
Yeah.
It's nice for school leaders in the summer. What's your routine? What's something from the summer you're going to miss?
Yeah.
But then what's something you're looking forward to this school year?
Yeah. We take full advantage of our time together as a family in the summer. And so we're originally from Michigan. And so we spend a lot of time back in Michigan. And so we'll drive back to Michigan and spend time with family. It's one of my kids' favorite things to do is spend time with grandpa and grandma. They got some acreage and a pool and some chickens and some 4-wheelers and a lot of time with family. We make sure that's a priority. And but yeah, we spent some time in Florida. Spent a lot of time in my career in Florida, so I have a lot of friends. Love to golf whenever I can. But yeah, that's just getting and spending time with family and just unwinding, reflecting, and learning is all part of what we do over the summer. So I think I'm grateful in a position in education, that we get these opportunities to recharge our batteries. And if you don't take time to do that, you won't be ready for your Super Bowl on day one. So we do a lot of family time, and it's very valuable, and we don't ever take it for granted.
Good for you. And they're getting older, right? They're going to be having activities where those things are harder. I'm wearing my UNC Wilmington hat. My daughter just went to UNC Wilmington, and you'll get there one day, Nick.
I know, and it goes by so fast, and it's no joke. Once your kids start playing sports, your summers have to be planned a little more meticulously so you can still do those family things, but have time to get back and do the sports and the practices and all that.
Well, good luck today. I know it's big for you. Your son Luke, first tackle football game today. Get that head up, and Dad, you stay on the sideline. Don't be trying.
I'm going to try.
Nick, principal, Mammoth Heights Elementary, Parker, Colorado. What is something at your school that you were like, this is great, we do this, we have this, that other principals are going to say, oh my God, I got to do that, or I got to have that? What's something you're really proud of at Mammoth Elementary? Yeah,
and it's something I started my very first year of being a principal. My first principalship was in Michigan, back in my hometown. And I started it kind of on a weekly basis, and it's turned into, it's a daily morning show that I do and I produce on YouTube.
Yes.
And I do it every morning. And some people would think that takes up a lot of time, and it does, but you get to a point where you got it honed in. I can get to my office. I get to my office at probably 6:30 in the morning, and I can put together a show as I record it, edit it, and upload it to YouTube. I can do a 3-minute show. I can put that on YouTube in probably 10 minutes. And it's something that our community absolutely loves, because I do announcements, I do lunches, I do birthdays. They can watch it on YouTube. And I got kids every morning come on up to me and said, I already watched the morning show.
Ooh.
And so another thing is too, as principals, our days get crazy, right? And sometimes we're in meetings. Every morning I'm in the classroom. My face is in the classroom talking to kids through the screen, but they know I'm there in some capacity, one way or another. And so they get to see the energy right away in the morning. It's all about energy. It's about positivity. It's about announcements. It's about celebrations. And every teacher, every student gets that first dose of energy every morning. So a daily morning show that we produce on YouTube, and a lot of times we have kids on the show, something that we're really proud of, and has paid a lot of dividends that we didn't expect, because it goes beyond our school walls because it's on YouTube, and our kids feel connected. And it came in handy hugely during COVID because we would communicate with our families, and the kids had some sense of normalcy during those COVID months and years that they could go watch the morning show. And kids who graduate from high school will come up and say, I still watch your morning show, by the way.
I love it.
It's crazy. I didn't expect it to be such a big thing. It was, but I've probably been doing it for 10 years. I've probably done 2,000 shows.
Wow.
On YouTube.
Wow. So this is no stranger to you doing this.
No. And that's why I get used to, you can watch yourself and you kind of can practice your own public speaking and how you present as you're watching yourself over and over and over again, So really proud of our daily morning show. And then our kids, one of the questions I always get, are kids involved? They're involved in the show. We reward kids through the show. They help co-host the show. But the behind the scenes stuff, I'm in elementary school. I get it done first thing in the morning. I'm just producing, editing, and uploading. But the kids and the community appreciate that constant communication and the energy that starts the day. So, yeah.
Good for you,
Check
Nick.
it out. It's called Good Morning Mammoth Heights.
I love it. Nick, I thrive on the energy. I can feel a synergy with you. I dig that. But my wife's introverted, right? She tells me, Andrew, back it up. Sometimes my nickname Nick is a lot of Marada. Sometimes it's too much. What do you say sometimes if people say, this Nick H, he's so much energy. It's all about the fun. We got to do the school stuff. What do you say to people when they say you're too much?
It's interesting. I am a lot at school. I would even tell you I'm probably a little more introverted than I am extroverted. At school, I know what needs to be done. And so I bring the energy, right? That's a big deal. And I haven't really had anybody ever complain about it. I'm in elementary school. I go on the roof of my school to greet kids in the morning dressed up as Batman on Halloween. So people are taking pictures, they're posting, they're spreading that energy on social media. We just got to give them the opportunity to spread it, right? So we got to put ourselves out there. We got to take risks. We got to bring the energy, even if we don't feel like it, right? But I would tell you this, Andrew, I come home, I maybe use up all that energy, and I got to do a better job with it. When I come home, I still have that energy from my wife and my kids, because sometimes my wife will say, hey, can I have Mr. H here at home sometimes? I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but sometimes all the energy gets put into the school day. And so in 2005, I'm going to bring that energy, make sure I continue that energy all the way throughout the day. And that's a challenge sometimes, but we got to do what's best for our school. And we also remember to do what's best for our family.
Nick, that's a great point. I know I'm going to ask you about, what's something you're going to do in 2005, but I heard a quote about that. Don't give your family the rest of us.
Mm-hmm.
Give them the best of us, right? Yeah. And we do that at school, right? We pour everything in. By the time we get home, we're done. But I want my family to have the best of us, not the rest of us. Yeah,
right on, right on. And it's not as easy as it sounds, because
it's not. It's not.
Right.
Nick, you mentioned social media, and you really use it as a tool to reach people. The videos, they're authentic. They're yourself. You're smiling. Tell me about your use of social media and how that's impacted your leadership.
Yeah, there's definitely a history there. Probably 10 years ago or 13 years ago, back in Michigan, when I was a principal, our district sent us to a conference, and George Couros was the keynote. And George Couros, with his book, Innovator's Mindset, talked about leaders having a digital footprint. And so right then and there, I'm like, all right, let's start a Twitter. Let's start just little bit by little bit, getting our message out there. And, I think maybe it's John Gordon. He says, you got to spread so much positivity that it drowns out the negative. And so that's kind of been my mindset through social media, is to spread the positivity. There's always going to be people that are negative, but if you can put out more positivity, it'll drown out the negative. So with that, always follow George Koros. And about 6 years ago, he put something on his email blog about, hey, there's this new thing called TikTok, and people are some educators are starting to get into it. So 6 years, I'm like, all right, let's do that too. And so that kind of went more with the videos. And my first career was in television. I worked in television. So kind of brought me back to the ability to put out videos again, and then always enjoying humor. I'm like, all right, let's just start writing jokes too, and putting jokes out there that kind of go along with school. Everything was always focused on like the school element of videos and humor. And then just kept building and building and building into where it is kind of today. I'm not saying there's anything crazy, but it's been, our community loves it. I'll tell you this too. It helps in hiring, right? Because you can bring in somebody, and when they say, what do you know about our school? They'll say, I love the videos and everything you do about your school, right? And if you can bring somebody in for an interview that says, I know all about your school, I want to be a part of it, here's why I love your school. And I get the best people that want to come work at Mammoth Heights because they see what we're doing. And so it helps with that as well. So not only does it help with community, bringing joy to school every day, it's kid friendly, the kids love it. And we model what social media can look like and the positive impact it can have on our school and teachers and overall community. So it's been a long journey. George Koros kind of got it going for me with the digital footprint. And it's gone from Twitter, X, to Instagram, to Facebook, to TikTok.
Awesome stuff there. Good for you for modeling what it could and should look like. Positivity. Nick, you mentioned the humor, the comedy. You've actually got back into some stand-up. You did it way back when in college, but you've actually got back on the stage with the mic, with the cord. You look like Nate Bargatze out there. Talk to me about diving back into the stand-up. What did it feel like to get back on the stage? Yeah. I mean, you got it all going on here. Tell me about that.
Well, thank you. I did it in college a long time ago. I always wanted to try it, and it was a blast. And then got into education and principalships, and I just had somebody come up to me as I host my talent show every year and said, have you ever done stand-up comedy? I'm like, yeah, I have. In a long, long time ago, back in college. And she said, you should get back into it. And I'm like, well, what do you know? What do you know, old lady? It was a grandma. Her granddaughter was in this show. She hands me a card and says, I'm a professional comedian and you should get back into it. I'm like, well, maybe I will. I never even thought about it. And, all it takes, as you know, is just one person that kind of believes in you. And we know this as educators. All it takes is one person to kind of believe in you. I'm like, you know what? Let's get back into it. I always wanted to do it. And so, it's been a ton of fun. And I think, after you've been a principal for so many years and you have the same staff, you get used to it. It's just fun. And in so many ways to step outside your comfort zone again and model stepping outside your comfort zone and to feel that terror like you had on that first day of your principal job, that first Super Bowl. I was terrified to talk to the staff. Right? I don't know. What are they going to think of me? What's going to happen? And it's been a few years since I've had that feeling again. So getting back on stage, writing my own material, it kind of brings back some more discipline to get up. I work out, I write, and it's been a ton of fun. And I test out some of those jokes on TikTok to see how they do. And if they do really well, I'll put them on stage.
I love it. So talk to me, like, are you memorizing? Is it 90% in your head? How do you, I always kind of have a script with me. I got my notes when I'm presenting. I got the screen. How do you know what the next joke is?
I memorize. I practice. I rehearse. I put it in. I go to school at night and put on our sound system, and I practice to an empty gymnasium.
Wow.
And I practice and I practice and I practice. So recently, the first time I have done it in a long time, it was
when was it?
Yeah, so it was in March. And her name is Terry, and she's a great mentor now because she's a comedian. She said, "I want you to do 10 minutes at this brewery." And I said, "I don't know if I can do 10 minutes. I haven't done this in 20 years." And I said, "I'll do it as long as I can invite all my teachers and I can make this a team building activity." So all my teachers showed up to the brewery. We sold the place out, and I got on stage for 10 minutes, and I memorized. And I don't know if they were laughing because I was their principal, but I got some good laughs, and I got the bug again. So, I think, you got your podcast and you're doing amazing things. I might have this stand-up thing. Who knows?
Wow. So how many gigs since March have you done? Have you been doing it more?
Yeah, I actually did a gig with a group called the Unteachables. They travel all over the country, just teacher humor. And that was right here in Denver at Comedy Works. So I had 5 minutes, huge laughs, huge fun. Comedy Works a few times. And I'm even taking a comedy stand-up class at Comedy Works right now.
Cool.
So, yeah, I know most principals, most of my principal peers, they're going to college to get their doctorate, right? Yeah. I'm going to take stand-up comedy. So when they're done, they're going to get to call themselves doctors. When I'm done with my comedy courses, I'm going to get to call them names.
I love it. And again, bringing humor into the work. I just listened to Nate Bargatze's book, My Big Dumb Eyes.
I did too.
He went to comedy school in Chicago. He went to comedy school.
Yeah, I know, right?
On the big stage, yeah.
Yeah.
Nick, I met Gaspari Randazzo from Staten Island. He's a teacher. He's on the big circuit as a comedian.
Nice.
And he was great. Yeah, he was on the podcast as well.
Well, that's awesome.
Nick, talk to me about leadership and comedy. Is there a relationship there?
Yeah. I think in so many ways, comedy is just shared experiences.
Yeah.
Right. And so, it doesn't take, we got to be in front of teachers and community, almost every day in this role. And it can be monotonous. It can be kind of boring what we have to talk about, whether it's at a PTO meeting or at a community meeting. So I always try to bring humor into it. I'll think of a joke and I'm like, well, I'm going to tell this joke at this opportunity as we talk to community, as we talk to teachers, and it kind of just brings a sense of, we're all in this together, right? We can all, it's a serious business, but there's opportunities to laugh. And I think that's important. And every time you go on stage, every time you're talking, you're taking a risk. And it's important to model risk taking. So in so many ways, it's who I am. It's what I've always done. My mind has always been thinking in ways of how to make things that are serious funny, but at the same time, do what needs to be done for what we need to do for our kids and our community. So it's comedy's shared experiences, and people relate to that. And if they can relate to you and you're willing to put yourself out there, they're willing to follow and they're willing to be a part of what you want to do at your school. So, it's just always been a part of it. I couldn't do this job. I don't think anybody can. This sometimes thankless, very difficult role of being an educator without taking a step back and learning and finding those opportunities for joy and humor.
Yeah.
So that's my goal, is to bring those opportunities in a very difficult world.
It must be a stress relief too. You know, I refereed college basketball. After that game, it was like a release of kind of stress and endorphins, you know, from school, from the game. Do you feel that when you come off stage? Is it like a,
oh yeah,
it's like for your professional life, it must be release for you.
Absolutely. Yes. It's very different, but at the same, it's the same in so many ways, but yes, it's rewarding because you took that risk. Because one of the very first times after my first show, Terry came with me to Comedy Works because I was doing like a new faces. You get like 2 minutes to get up there, and you're not. Everyone knows you haven't done this for a long time, and I was so nervous and so scared. And she pushed me to get up there right now on that stage. So, and then after that's done and you did it, what a feeling that you have of those endorphins that say, way to go. Even I'm going to be 50 next month. So way to go, way to step outside your comfort zone, way to like follow those dreams no matter what age you are. And that's a good feeling.
I love it. I love it. Nick, great teachers have great lesson plans, but the great ones can go where the lesson goes while staying on the track. How much do you do that memorized skit versus, this guy's got a Savannah Banana shirt on and you get going about bananas. So getting engaged with the crowd while staying on the script, while staying in your time slot. Talking about the variations of that script to make the performance great.
Yeah. So one thing I've learned is you can have a script. It can go off kilter a little bit by what happens in the room. And one thing I've learned is that you got to address what happens in the room. Everybody who's in that room knows what's happening. If you don't address what's happening, and then the audience is going to know, you're just memorizing things, right? So much like teaching. If you're just reading the script of a curriculum program, but something's happening in the class that you got to address, all the kids know something's happening and they're not going to pay attention to you anymore, right? So I've learned that if things go a little bit sideways, you got to address it. And I think as people, obviously the professional comedians are the masters of it because they have done it so much that they're so good at it. And our experienced teachers are really good at veering and flexing, right? And I think we give grace. I love to give grace to our newbies who are just trying their best to understand the program, but also understand classroom management. There's a lot of grace there. And there's a lot of also grace in our teachers. Like if they went off script pretty well, and I'm not a big script guy. I'm not, but I do understand there's got to be some scope and sequence and some team planning. But if an experienced teacher needs to veer, they have the experience. They know what they're doing.
Great stuff, Nick. I agree with everything you just said. Home run.
Thank you.
I got some stuff today, Nick. I know you got some stuff with your family as well. I'm definitely getting you scheduled again in 26 to come on and talk. I want to hear where we are. But what's one thing you wanted to share that we didn't talk about today? One thing you wanted to say, whether it's to your school, to other leaders. What's one thing you wanted to share?
I would say there was times when I became an administrator that I was ready to quit, right? And there was a moment in time that in a mindset change that helped me persevere throughout this administrative educational career. And it was the minute I decided that I was not going to be able to make everybody happy. And when I made that choice that I'm going to stick to what I believe, some people are not going to believe in that and they're not going to be happy with that. But I know, and I'm convicted in this mindset, in this frame of mind, that helped me become a better administrator and made the job so much enjoyable. I know it sounds almost contradictory. You're going to make people mad, but it's going to be more enjoyable. Well, you're going to make a lot more people happy knowing that you're standing on your convictions. And so in 16 years as an administrator, there have been times I'm like, why am I not enjoying this job right now? Oh, I know. I'm trying to make everybody happy. And when I remember where I stand and I understand I'm not going to make everybody happy, I enjoy the job again. And so that's what I like to share. And that's what I tell new administrators. And even I have to tell myself almost every year, like, what's going on? Why am I feeling burnt out? Because I'm working so hard to make everybody happy. And I don't need to do that.
And in line with the comedy too, you're going to get a lot of laughs. You're not getting everybody.
Not everybody.
And that's okay. And that is okay.
Mm-hmm. And I've learned too, and this is one of my weaknesses when I'm on stage from my coaches. When I say a punchline, believe in it. Like, don't stand. Sometimes I cower. I'm like, here's the punchline. I hope someone laughs. No, get in their face. This is it. This is funny.
Friends, this is Nick Holtvluwer, Colorado. Nick, definitely getting your schedule. This was a lot of fun. And again, I appreciate the flexibility with your schedule. Let's get to rapid fire, Nick. These are quick questions. This is coming down the stretch. This is the stage manager going like this. Nick, we're going to commercial. You ready?
Yes, let's do it.
Let's roll. Last movie you saw?
Jurassic Park at the theater with my kids.
I'm a big Jurassic Park fan. Love it. Last concert you went to?
Green Day.
Man.
Green Day.
As a comedian, you learn about stage performance with the singers too. There's a lot of similarities there. Last song you sang out loud in the car?
That's easy. Bad Blood, Taylor Swift with my daughter.
Who runs the music in the car when you're driving, you or your children?
When it's my daughter only, it's Taylor Swift. And when it's my boys, it's Green Day, which I'm happy with both. I love them all.
I love it. You love a dad that can sing along with Taylor Swift.
That's right.
You're in good shape, I can tell. I know physical fitness is important to you, but what's your favorite dish?
Oh, pizza. Pizza all day long.
I love it. I love it. Michigan, you're there. I mean, when you're performing in New York City, I'm going to come watch you. We'll go get some pizza.
I would love it. That would be a dream come true.
Oh, we're making that happen. You're coming, baby. Vacation. You mentioned camping with your family. Talk to me about your favorite vacation activities.
I love going to Florida. I love the humidity. You know, it doesn't mess with my hair. So going to the beach. One of my favorite things to do. Get a chance to relax, unwind, listen to the waves.
I love it. You mentioned 2025, what you're going to do. What's something you stopped doing in 2025?
Yeah. Oh, boy. What did I stop doing? You know, man, I think, I'm going to say it again. I stopped trying to make everybody happy.
Yeah. That's great new administrator advice. And it doesn't mean you're stubborn or have the blinders on. It means you got to stick to your strengths, stick to what you're doing and continue to move. Yeah.
Take all the voices in. Take them all in. For sure. Let everybody have a chance to say their piece. Let everybody have a voice. But you're the leader. You got to make the decision and you got to stand on it. And there's going to be people that had voices that don't agree with you, and that's okay.
You got a mix of Michigan, Florida, Colorado. Who is your sports team, Nick?
I'm a huge Michigan Wolverine football fan. That's never gone away. But Tampa Bay Lightning and the Broncos.
You got to mix everything. You got to mix everything. Is Harbaugh a hero or a villain?
Hero. Hero. He cannot do any wrong in my eyes.
He's into it, and he's got a lot of humor too. That guy.
Yeah, he does.
He does, man. Dude, did you watch the Signal Stealer?
I did.
Wasn't that fascinating?
Fascinating. That
guy was a genius.
I thought it made Michigan look even better.
It started out as bending the rules. And now they changed the whole thing. Now it's all in the helmets. Yeah.
He's got a cult following now.
Oh my God, dude. Incredible. One thing that Nick Holtvluwer is curious about.
I am curious about how AI is going to take our world of education.
Yeah.
A lot of good and a lot of cautionary tales to be on the lookout for.
A lot of creative writing classes that got to write it by hand.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Something about Nick H that people don't know about.
I love lifting weights. I lift weights every morning, and I'm a huge golfer. And that's a ton of fun. I love those opportunities to, like you said earlier, release some of that tension that we feel throughout the day. And I do that a lot through lifting weights every morning. Like discipline. 4:30, I'm up. 5 o'clock, I'm in the weight room. I got a weight room in my house, a pretty intense one. So sometimes I post some pictures of that on Instagram. So yeah, pretty intense weight room in my basement. We had to buy this house based on the basement so I could put all my equipment in it.
I think people might know that about you, Nick, because they see that, they see that out there. So good for you. Nick, this was fantastic. Again, appreciate your flexibility. I know you got a great quote for us to end the show.
So one of my favorite quotes is that life begins when you step outside your comfort zone. And that's been kind of how I've lived my life. When I first took that leap from going from a communication degree, working in television, to deciding, you know what, I'm going to go back to college as a 30-year-old to get my teaching credentials and go back to my alma mater, where most of those elementary courses are with 20 and 19 and 20 and 21-year-old women. And I'm a 30-year-old married dude. That was a big risk to be able to put myself out there and feel like a fish out of water back in my alma mater. And then taking a risk to move to Florida to get my first teaching job, and then taking a risk to move back to Michigan to get my first principal job, and then taking some risks moving out to Colorado. And so every risk that I've ever taken, I've grown. And so that kind of has guided me throughout my life. And it took that first opportunity to say, you know what, maybe I did not follow what I should have done in my life by going into the television business. Let's take a risk and let's fix it and get back into what I want to do. But I'll tell you this too. Even though I didn't follow my career as a teacher on day one, every step of the way I've learned something, whether that is in television and in college, all those skills, even when you're working your summer jobs, those skills matter as an educator. So
they're all coming together, and here you are, YouTube channel, the TV, the comedy. It's all coming into one pipeline now.
Right. Yeah, and you don't see it right away, but you got to be able to take that risk and trust the process.
Yeah. And that's why Suzanne Holtvluwer loves you. She's watching. Your mom is watching.
That's my mom.
He's great here. Nick, my mom's downstairs. They're getting in the car now. We're going out to the lake, so I got to run. This was great. Nick, if people want to go to one of your shows, is there a schedule? They just follow you on social media? Is that the best way to learn where you're speaking?
Yeah, I'm not that big yet. We'll see. I'm not. I don't yet. That's right. I post some shows that I go to. They're very sporadic on my social media pages, Instagram and Facebook, TikTok. But yeah, it's been a ton of fun, and I'm going to take advantage of every opportunity that comes my way. And I'm going to take advantage of people that show belief in you. And I would encourage everyone, if there's someone that believes in you, take advantage of it and be that person that you believe in someone.
I love it. Friends, leave Nick a positive comment in the show notes here. Appreciate our live viewers. Nick, have a great weekend in your family. Good luck to your son. It's Luke today. He's playing football. That's right. Shout out to your wife, Jen, Ava, singing those Taylor Swift songs, and your youngest, Chase. Appreciate you, Nick, and best on your journey, okay?
Thank you so much, Andrew. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, stay on the line a second. Friends, register for the live seminar Thursday, kicking off your school year, making and starting those action plans for your school year. Live, 7:30 Eastern, 5:30 Mountain time there.
That's right.
Awesome. Nick Holtvluwer, friends from Colorado. Keep surviving and thriving.